Otherwise, we will dive right in. So, good morning or afternoon, everyone, depending on where you are tuning in from. And thank you for joining us today. Today's session is all about digital twinning in agriculture, how this powerful technology is helping bridge the gap between physical farm operations and virtual models. I'm excited to guide you through this emerging topic that has real practical benefits for agriculture. And it's interesting to see everybody in the chat saying it's a brand new subject. So, that's really interesting. So, just before we dive in, I want to do a quick land acknowledgement. Canada is the home of more than 600 First Nations who have governed and managed these lands since the beginning of time. The Canadian Agriculture Human Resource Council greatly acknowledges that we work throughout the lands of these First Nations and that our office is located on the unceded territory of the Algonquin Anishinaabe Nation. So, just quickly to understand our work at CARC, it helps to know who we are. We're a national nonprofit organization dedicated to supporting the people who power Canadian agriculture. Our focus is squarely on addressing the human resource challenges that farmers, ranchers, and agribusinesses face every day. From from workforce planning to recruiting and training. We're led by industry stakeholders, which means our direction is grounded in real world needs. As the National Center for Research on Agricultural Labor Market Information, we collect and analyze data that matters, but we don't stop at just research. We're also the go to access point for practical, customized HR tools and solutions. And all of this connects back to why we exist in the first place. At the heart of what we do here at CARC is pretty simple idea. Agriculture needs people, and not just any people, but the right ones in the right roles with the right support. Our work is all about helping the industry solve its HR and workforce challenges, whether that's through data, tools, and training. We want to make sure that the agriculture sector in Canada has a workforce that's skilled, motivated, and ready to take on any challenge today and into the future. And when folks are looking for real grassroots level support, whether it's our labor market information or custom HR solutions, we want them to think of us first. So before we dive into our topic today, I'd like to quickly introduce myself. My name is Rebecca Balston. I am the Stakeholder Engagement Manager here at the Canadian Agriculture Human Resource Council, where I also lead our project on the National Women in Agriculture Initiative and help build support and knowledge all about our projects and services. I'm really passionate about sharing the incredible programs, research, and tools that CARC has to offer because I've seen firsthand how important they are to to the success of our sector. I've worked in recruiting, dairy nutrition, and sales, and today, alongside my husband, I co own a dairy operation in Western Quebec. Over the past year, our farm has harnessed new technology, specifically in milking robotics, and I truly understand the evolving challenges and opportunities that many in the industry are facing. So I'm excited to be here, connect, and share with all of you today. So let's dive in. So, what exactly is a digital twin? In simple terms, it's a real time virtual model of a physical object or system. These models are powered by data collected from sensors and devices. In agriculture, this might be a digital replica of a crop field, a greenhouse, barn, or a machine, continuously updating with real world data. So picture this, a cow on the farm connected to a computer dashboard or a field of corn mirrored by data charts and simulations. How does a digital twin typically work? First, data is collected from an IoT sensor or Internet of Things. These could measure soil moisture, temperature, machinery performance, or animal behavior. This data is sent to the cloud or edge computing system where it's processed. A live model is created, constantly updating to reflect real time conditions. You can then simulate scenarios like testing what happens to your yield during a drought or a pest outbreak. And most importantly, it helps you make better decisions like adjusting irrigation, modifying feed, or scheduling equipment maintenance. Digital twins can be applied across many parts of agriculture. In crop management, they help track nutrients, pests, and moisture, which leads to higher yields with fewer inputs. For livestock, sensors can detect illness early by monitoring movement and behavior. With equipment, you can avoid costly breakdowns by predicting maintenance needs. For climate resilience, digital models simulate planting windows based on weather patterns. And finally, they support sustainability by helping producers track carbon, water use, and input efficiency. So very essential today for certain certifications. So here's just some real world examples. So on farm equipment sensors and milking robots, specifically for this dairy example, we have feed bins and cow collars. The digital twin tracks milk production, animal activity, and even predicts illness based on behavior and barn temperature, leading to healthier animals and reduced feed costs. Sound familiar? We already see some of these sensors in dairy farms through collar and tag systems and in milking robots. Imagine being able to use this data to simulate how you or how specifically your farm operates. So, for instance, if you want to feed your herd at a certain time frame and just to see how that affects their feed intakes. Here's another example of greenhouse use. So, in a high tech greenhouse, a digital twin mirrors plant growth and environmental conditions. It can simulate changes in light or nutrients and integrate with production planting, resulting in greater crop uniformity and reduces energy use. Does help simulate those what if scenarios as well. And you can do this through the digital model rather than trying to do it in real time, which could end up very costly. Also, another example of a salmon farm using sensors and AI to model fish growth, water quality, and behavior. The digital twin helps detect disease early, optimize feed, and even guide the design of more sustainable farm systems. Not just in salmon farms, but in all farms. So, what are the main benefits of using digital twins in agriculture? We're looking at faster, better decision based on real data from your facility or farm, not from a farm in Iowa. Early detection of issues like equipment failure, crop stress, or animal illness, reduced input costs like fertilizer, feed, and fuel, and improved yields and sustainability, and increased readiness for traceability, certification, and climate adaptation. One of my favorite quotes for this technology is, "You can't manage what you don't measure, and digital twins let you do both." So why now? Why is this subject coming so prevalent these days? We can really see that first off, technology costs have dropped significantly. IoT sensors and cloud services are now much more affordable and easier to deploy. Second, the labor shortage in agriculture means producers need tools that help them do more with fewer people. And third, these growing pressures around sustainability and compliance, whether it's carbon accounting, water use, or traceability. The good news is that we do have a funded training now available to help producers and agribusinesses learn how to use these tools. This training program that I will be talking about here shortly is for Ontario employers. But if you do want to take part in this training, we do have some positions available for outside of Ontario. So, just quickly talking about seeding digital skills and how you can take the next step in learning just what this digital twinning technology can do for your facility or your farm. It's a free training opportunity specifically, again, for Ontario agri-food sector. This program is open to a wide range of agribusinesses, livestock producers, hatcheries, greenhouses, crop growers, breweries, wineries, food and beverage processors, all of that. If you're working with biological systems and want to improve how you manage them, this training is for you. Digital twins can help you reduce waste and downtime by identifying inefficiencies before they cost you, improve yield and animal health through smarter data driven decisions, save on energy and water, which helps the bottom line and sustainability goals, and keep food safer throughout storage and transportation by improving traceability. Here's what you get with this program, though: a free 12-week online training, flexible and accessible from anywhere. Multiple start days from already some have started in July. We have a cohort starting August 20th, I believe, as well, both in the morning and in the evening. And then these start dates will go right until January 2026. This is a hands-on learning, including CAD asset optimization, real-time data integration, and environmental modeling. It's also free to access the Unity platform afterwards, and industry standard in digital twin simulation for a full year. Employers are actually eligible to up to $2,000 in a stipend or a wage subsidy. You'll earn a credential upon completion. And for some participants, there's additional AI training available. It's practical, no cost way to future proof your operation and build digital capacity in your business. I will also note as well for this next August cohort, there is usually a cost if you do not complete the training in the 12 weeks, but they have decided to waive that. So it's definitely a great time right now to opt into the August cohort. So one of the exciting things about this training is how broadly applicable it is across agriculture and agri-food careers. Whether you're in production, research, or technology, digital twin systems or skills are in demand. For example, in sustainability and climate work, roles like sustainability analyst, greenhouse climate modeler, and digital irrigation planner are using digital models to optimize resource use. If you're working in animal agriculture, roles like livestock monitoring specialists and veterinary techs using smart collars and sensors will directly benefit from real-time tracking and simulation. On the technology and innovation side, we're seeing new job titles emerge. So, agri-tech data scientist, AI engineer in agriculture, agri-informatics specialist, and drone simulation technician. These roles blend ag knowledge with tech skills to build these systems for the future. Even traditional roles like equipment operator, farm manager, and digital agronomist are evolving to require data literacy as well as decision support tools based by digital twins. This training can be a stepping stone, whether you're looking to level up, pivot into tech integrated role, or attracting young talent to your business. So if you're ready to learn more and upskill through this program, the Digital Twin in Agriculture training program is now available through our partnership with Palette Skills Ontario Chamber of Commerce. So please, if you have the QR code, you can use that, or if you look in the chat, we will have a link there for you to be able to learn a little bit more on our website. And also we do have a form if you have an express interest in being involved in this training. You can also email me directly at rbalston@carc/ccrha .ca, and then we can chat a little bit further about this. So that brings us to the end of the formal presentation. I'd like to open up the floor for any questions you might have, whether it's about the technology or about the training program. Feel free to use the Q&A or drop your question here in the chat. Yeah, so I'll just head over there and see if there's anything. It does look like it is a very new topic, and hopefully I gave you a little bit scraping on the surface of what a digital twin is and how it applies to Canadian agriculture. Also, if you look at the discussion page here, this is just some screenshots from the Unity platform, which is being trained through this program. So as you can see, you can really input harvest weight for your pumpkins, or you can even use kind of plots on a farm, but it can always be bigger than that. So it really is what you want to see and how you want to grow your farm or your agribusiness. Hopefully that wasn't too much thrown at you at once, but please let me know if you have any questions. So the training, sorry, I'm just seeing a question in the chat, is whether the training is self-paced. There is a live training session every single week of those 12 weeks, which is about an hour and a half long. And then from there, it's self-guided after. They do ask that you attend all those live sessions. There will be, I believe, 20 people in each cohort, both from the food and beverage processing and from the agriculture side of the industry in Ontario. And from there, there will be extra hours and work towards your project, but they are there to guide you the whole time and network with others that are also going through the same training. I will say too that you do not need to have any formal technical training to take this program. They will guide you completely through it. And it does look like, for the most part, you can kind of plug and play the different components that you want into this. So it does make it a little bit easier. Okay, just looking at the Q&A, do we have opportunity to customize our training to our specific farm to have something tangible in the end? Yes, exactly. So that's the whole idea of this training, is to make sure that you do have a model of your facility or your farm. So you'll be able to build that throughout the 12-week training program. I will say as well that we do have a webinar happening next week with Ontario Chamber of Commerce and Unity. So if you want to ask some really technical details about the training program specifically, I welcome you to come to that next week on Tuesday. And I believe we'll have a link going up in the chat so that you can join for that. But yes, you'll have something tangible at the end, and then you'll have this Unity platform subscription for at least a year after the training is finished. From there, as far as I know, I do have a link to the pricing that I can send to you afterwards with the recording of this webinar. So I'll give you some of those resources so that you're well equipped before deciding to take the training program. Go down to the next question. Interesting subject and one that applies to all sectors. I'm interested in having this as one of our talks at the conference. Would love to. For sure, you can talk to us. We would be happy to send you to the right people, or if you want us there, we'd be glad to talk a little bit more about this training program. So Leah, and I'll send you an email afterwards. Right, is there any other questions about digital twinning or about the training program? I can go back to if you wanted to look more at the specifics of the training in case I went over it a little too fast. So here's some of those key highlights again, where we're starting. Again, we'll probably be starting 2 or 3, maybe even 4 cohorts a month from now until January. And again, they'll be morning, afternoon, or evening. So there is even that chance to take this training during the evening. And I will stress as well, we are trying to fill up the August cohorts, which are a morning and an evening cohort. And at this point, we will waive the $2,000 fee if you do not complete the training, because that has been kind of something that has been holding some people back from taking the training, especially during a very busy season. I know August and September, even October is busy for agricultural producers and agribusinesses supporting those producers with harvest on the horizon. So Pete, you had asked the training's free. What is the stipend for? So the stipend is to support you if you're sending an employee to the training to help, I guess, subsidize their wage. So that will help the employer specifically. Great. And if you're interested in the August cohort, please go ahead and fill out the form. I believe Owen put it into the chat. If not, we'll send it again with some information after the webinar. Thank you. Are there any other questions? Yeah. Owen just put the application form in the chat. I know that this technology is fairly new for agriculture, or at least fairly newly being spoken about for agriculture. This specific technology has been used in other sectors for years. I know one of the case studies that is shown to us a few times is showing airports and also about safety measures and how to keep the flow of traffic in airports going properly, especially with planes coming in and out. So that always kind of reminds me of when we were putting our robot in our barn and where the placement of the barn, where the placement, sorry, of the robot should go depending on our animal behavior. And I thought that would be how cool would it have been to be able to put it into a digital twin and simulate that versus kind of going on a hope that it works properly. At this point, the training is only in Ontario. We do have some spots available for employers outside of Ontario. You would have to speak to us directly about that. There isn't a lot of spots, though, I will stress that. But at this point, because it's through the Ontario Chamber of Commerce, it is Ontario specific at this point. Would love to see it go across Canada. So going through the webinar itself and talking about digital twinning, does that help you kind of think of some ideas how you'd be able to put this into your own facility or into your own business, whether it's you taking the training or whether you send an employee to take the training? What would that look like? Does it help inspire you to think of a project where you could use this? Everybody's quiet today. It's interesting too to see some of the role titles that could come out of a training like this and being able to harness technology. We do know very much that we are going to need the skills for a digital future. There is definitely a need for that. And just seeing some of these career opportunities looks great to me. So again, here are some of the requirements for the training program. So yes, you will need a computer and more or less a basic digital literacy is great, which is more like the spreadsheets, presentations you got on Zoom today. So you already have some of those basic literacy skills. Also, just to make sure that you consent to surveys and data sharing. It's definitely helps to have kind of these projects going across Canada when we have a great model here in one province. So definitely great to be involved that way. The stipend as well. So you have to provide pay stubs for your employee if they're going through the project or through the program, just to help subsidize having an employee off of the farm or out of the facility, whether you're in a greenhouse or livestock or crop. Also, one of the requirements is that the position or the person that is taking the training will have a responsibility or title change. So definitely something to kind of think about when you see that listing of career opportunities. So if there are no more questions, there is my email there if you'd like to email me and discuss this a little bit further. But if there are no other questions, I will give you back a few more minutes of your day. And I just want to say thank you so much for coming today and for listening to what digital twinning can do for agriculture and also listening about the training program that we have. So I just want to wish you all a wonderful day and hopefully it's not too crazy hot where you are. I know it's a bit of a heat wave here. Thank you very much.